Hi, everyone. So in the first video, I would discuss the keys for actuarial exams and also the notion of the course. Okay, so at first, the key for the actuarial exam FM2. So what kind of knowledge and skills are needed for the exam? And the first one is, of course, the notion of fixed income products. So the fixed income products are just the financial products with fixed interest rate. So that is loan or bond or just a deposit and so on. So it's different from the stock or the Bitcoin or some others. So those are very volatile. The financial products, and you cannot really have the theory for the fluctuation. But for fixed income products, the more deterministic theory behind it. So we have to understand the structure of that. So that is the notion of fixed income products. Yeah. So yeah. And the next one is the notation of fixed income products. So fixed income products have so many notations, and in mathematical, the actuarial mathematics. So notations of the fixed income products are also important. So sometimes I feel that the notation is a kind of the entry barrier to the actuarial science. So that the actuaries protect themselves against other people. So that we have so many notations, so it's important to get used to it. And third ones are terminologies. So when we say interest rate, so we have the different kinds of interest rates. So we have to distinguish those and some other concepts also. So terminologies are also important. And the first one, this is a little more technical, but the use of financial calculator. So because you have to calculate everything quickly, and also some questions cannot be solved analytically. For example, we have the complicated payments, and also the complicated maybe the payment and also the refund or something. So if the complicated cash flow, we have to calculate the interest rate from complicated cash flow. We need a financial calculator to solve it. So we cannot solve the complicated equations mathematically. And these are basically the keys. And we have the two kind of skills to take the exam. So one is the translating sentences to mathematical expressions. So probably this is the biggest key to the exam. So in real world, you are not asked to integrate some functions, but depending on applications, you have to use calculus to integrate some functions. So in actuarial settings, originally you are given just a financial problem, but you have to translate it into mathematical expressions. So this is the key, the skills the actuarial exams see. So the translating sentences to mathematical expressions are really important. So this course only requires Math 2020. So mathematically not advanced, but some students suffer from translating sentences to mathematical expressions because they haven't done such experience in the past. Some students are really good from the beginning. So this is kind of the hard part for some students. And the last one is speed. So, this is a kind of competitive exam, and the actuary is a good, occupation. So many excellent people come in. So you really have to do all questions quickly. So even when I take the exam, I don't really have enough time. So I barely finished all questions, but you don't have much time. So these are the key factors, 6 key factors for actuarial exam FM2. Okay, then the notion of interest. What is the interest? So simply speaking, the interest is the money you can get after a year. So if $100 today will become $103 a year later, then we say the interest rate is 3%. But we have several questions. For example, what is the value after 2 years from now if the interest rate is 3%? Maybe one answer is maybe $106 because the $3 per year, so $6 for 2 years. So this is called the simple interest. So just the relationship is linear. So 1 year 3%, 2 year 6%, 3 year 9%. But maybe the sum interest rate is calculated in a different way. Maybe $100 becomes $103. So that means we multiply the 1.03 after a year. So 2 years later, we have to multiply 1.03 again. So 100 times 1.03 square. So that is $106.09. So this is so-called compounded interest. So we have different types of interest. Then the next question is, what is the value a half year from now? So the $3 per year. So often, practically, we use just a half year. So $101.5 a half year from now. So this is, again, the simple interest rate. Usually, within 1 year, often we use simple interest. But of course, you can calculate another way. So 100 becomes $103 a year later. So that means a half a year from now, 100 times 1.03 to the half power. So this is compounded interest. So we have different answers. So we have to define the several notions clearly, then we have to describe interest rate clearly. And the typical actuarial question is like this. To receive the $365 a year for 10 years, starting 1 year from now. So that means so we have the time 0 now today, and we have time 1 year later, 2 years later, 2 years later, 3 years later, up to 10 years later. And we want to have the $365 per year for 10 years. So the total payment is 365 times 10. So how much should I have at time 0? But we have interest rate. Interest rate will be earned. So probably we don't have to have $3,650, but maybe we need $3,000 at time 0. We are not sure, but to calculate this number. So this is typical actuarial question. So next question may be a little more interesting. So to receive $365 a year forever. So that means from 1 year from now, every year you receive $365, even after you died. So how much should we have today? So it sounds that today's value should be infinite, but remember that interest rate is 3%. So that means that, for example, the $365, 100 years from now, so that isn't worth much, right? So the 3% we can earn. So basically after 100 years, the $1 becomes 1.03 to the 100th power. So that is very large number. So at least this is larger than 4. So the future payment has less value at present. So actually this is also finite. And we can prepare the formula for this. And another question is to receive $1 a day for 10 years, starting from tomorrow. How much should we have today? So it's similar question to the third question, but the compare third and fifth question, which should be larger? It sounds like the same because $1 a day means $365 a year. That's the same. But actually the answer is different because you start getting money tomorrow. So that is better than getting money 1 year later. So this is so-called time value of money. So we have more value in the question 5. So the answer is larger than the answer for third question. So answer for 5 is larger than answer for 3. So we will answer these kind of questions in the course.